The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live as if there isn't and to die to find out that there is. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life. A man without ethics is a wild beast loosed upon this world. Nothing is more despicable than respect based on fear. A guilty conscience needs to confess. A work of art is a confession. Nobody realizes that some people expend tremendous energy merely to be normal. In the depth of winter I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Beauty is unbearable, drives us to despair, offering us for a minute the glimpse of an eternity that we should like to stretch out over the whole of time. Men must live and create. Live to the point of tears. Autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. You cannot create experience. You must undergo it. There is no love of life without despair of life. Blessed are the hearts that can bend, they shall never be broken. All great deeds and all great thoughts have a ridiculous beginning. Great works are often born on a street corner or in a restaurant's revolving door. To be happy we must not be too concerned with others. The evil that is in the world almost always comes of ignorance, and good intentions may do as much harm as malevolence if they lack understanding. A man's work is nothing but this slow trek to rediscover, through the detours of art, those 2 or 3 great and simple images in whose presence his heart first opened. Man is the only creature that refuses to be what he is. Those who lack the courage will always find a philosophy to justify it. For if there is a sin against life, it consists perhaps not so much in despairing of life as in hoping for another life and in eluding the implacable grandeur of this life. Charm is a way of getting the answer yes without asking a clear question. A free press can, of course, be good or bad, but, most certainly without freedom, the press will never be anything but bad. We always deceive ourselves twice about the people we love, first to their advantage, then to their disadvantage. Truth is mysterious, elusive, always to be conquered. Liberty is dangerous, as hard to live with as it is elating. We must march toward these 2 goals, painfully but resolutely, certain in advance of our failings on so long a road. Friendship often ends in love, but love and friendship, never. We get into the habit of living before acquiring the habit of thinking. In that race which daily hastens us towards death, the body maintains its irreparable lead. But what is happiness except the simple harmony between a man and the life he leads? Don't wait for the last judgment, it takes place every day. Those who write clearly have readers, those who write obscurely have commentators. Without freedom, no art. Art lives only on the restraints it imposes on itself, and dies of all others. At any street corner the feeling of absurdity can strike any man in the face. Some people talk in their sleep. Lecturers talk while other people sleep. Against eternal injustice, man must assert justice, and to protest against the universe of grief, he must create happiness. The modern mind is in complete disarray. Knowledge has stretched itself to the point where neither the world nor our intelligence can find any foothold. It is a fact that we are suffering from nihilism. It is not your paintings I like, it is your painting. By definition, a government has no conscience. Sometimes it has a policy, but nothing more. Lying is not only saying what isn't true. It is also, in fact especially, saying more than is true and, in the case of the human heart, saying more than one feels. We all do it, every day, to make life simpler. We continue to shape our personality all our life. If we knew ourselves perfectly, we should die. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Every act of rebellion expresses a nostalgia for innocence and an appeal to the essence of being. Truth, like light, blinds. Falsehood, on the contrary, is a beautiful twilight that enhances every object. The only real progress lies in learning to be wrong all alone. I know of only one duty, and that is to love. Without work, all life goes rotten. But when work is soulless, life stifles and dies. The welfare of the people in particular has always been the alibi of tyrants. Freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. Alas, after a certain age every man is responsible for his face. No cause justifies the deaths of innocent people. Integrity has no need of rules. The need to be right is the sign of a vulgar mind. The absurd is the essential concept and the first truth. We used to wonder where war lived, what it was that made it so vile. And now we realize that we know where it lives. Inside ourselves. Basically, at the very bottom of life, which seduces us all, there is only absurdity, and more absurdity. And maybe that's what gives us our joy for living, because the only thing that can defeat absurdity is lucidity. It is necessary to fall in love, if only to provide an alibi for all the random despair you are going to feel anyway. He who despairs of the human condition is a coward, but he who has hope for it is a fool. To know oneself, one should assert oneself. Without culture, and the relative freedom it implies, society, even when perfect, is but a jungle. This is why any authentic creation is a gift to the future.